Hello, hello. I'm putting my bookends together, so if I keep looking down, that's why, as I wait for everybody to log on. Hey, Doreen. Okay. Hello, hello. I get you both today. I feel privileged. You're muted, just so you know.
That was my plan all along.
Oh. Just going to give another couple minutes for anybody else to log on.
Rachel, you look so nice. What a pretty background.
I can't hear you, and I don't know why. Oops. Let's try that. Okay, I turned up my volume.
I said, Rachel, you look very nice, and you have a beautiful.
There you go. Thank you. I bought bookends for my shelf, and they came, like I had to assemble them. I was like, what is, but I will say for moving offices, I have acquired all kinds of little tools because they send you tools with everything that you purchase. So if you need any tools, I've got quite a few of them, mostly Allen wrenches and then some screwdrivers, but yeah. All right, we're just gonna give it just one more minute. Hi, Diana. You're muted still.
I just want to say hi. We're all together.
Okay. Let me get my little notebook. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, we're gonna get rocking and rolling because the world waits for no one. There we go. Hi, Denise. Okay. So today I wanted to go over just how you can kind of create yourself a solid, or if you're an admin, create your agent a solid listing presentation. So obviously I'm not an agent, but I have kind of gone through a few different agents listings presentations, and I have one of Josh Uminski, our team leader's old listing presentation. So from Greater Columbus. But so I have that to share with you guys, but just some things that I've compiled. Notice some consistencies between agents on and stuff like that. And then also kind of just to pull little snippets from what I learned from Dave Jenks. As far as rundown, and then I'm going to show you kind of how you can put that template together in Designs and Command. That way, one, you have that template ready to go. So the information that doesn't change, like your stats and stuff like that, are changed very little, will be on there and ready to go, and then show you how to duplicate that so you can always have your base and not have to start over every single time that you create one. And that can go for the buyer presentation too. Some of this stuff could probably filter over. So just a rundown, and I will type these in the chat as well, of pages that are commonly used or you should use. Number one, the about you and your information or your team is number one. You want to. Your market center stats. So if you're an established agent, it may not absolutely be necessary, but especially for the newer agents who don't have a lot of experience yet, showing that what you have in your corner and the support that you have can be huge. So make sure that you have that. You can get that information from your MCA. So If you're an Excel agent, that would be Jennifer. If you're a Cat Partners agent, that would be Renee or Joanne. So you can easily get that. If you want to do market summary info, get that from the MLS. Same with the neighborhood stats. You can get that from the MLS as well. And we kind of went over that last week. So check out YouTube for that one. Let me see here, neighborhood stats. I was jumping ahead of myself. Knowing the area that you are trying to gain a listing from is huge. You need to know what other homes in the area are going for cost-wise. You can look at that stuff on the MLS again, and just kind of seeing what the price points are, because if a client has something in mind of what they think their house is worth, and you can either one, back it up with that surrounding area information, or two, kind of later after the presentation, you want to get the listing first, but have that kind of easy but come to fruition conversation that's not realistic. So and then again, the next thing would be the property comparison, or the CMA, comparative market analysis. That is where, if I can spell, that is where you're going to get your good comparative information to help you determine what the list price should be. And something I picked up from Dave Jenks and what he talked about his listing presentations is that if the potential client asks you what you think their home is worth, don't tell them, not until after you have that listing, because heaven forbid your accurate or professional opinion costs you the listing because of that. So his recommendation was to just say, hey, that is something that we will discuss once I'm hired, just to set that tone. That way it allows you to still make a connection with them during your listing presentation and not completely write you off if you say something about the value of their home that they don't agree with. So that is always a good one. Let them know that that CMA or that property analysis is not a guarantee of that's what it's actually worth. Those are comparative. They're not set in stone. And do multiple of what I've kind of gathered from everybody I've talked to. Do multiple comparative market analysis. That way it's accurate information, because we know listings are being posted and sold at astronomical rates right now. So definitely look into that. More than one. Property overview. So that specific property, if you know the address, which I would hope you would, go into the MLS and see if it's been previously sold. Most of the time it's going to be, unless it's a new build, and just see what it sold for previously. So you have an idea, get an idea on their taxes, previous taxes, if there's any taxes owed, because I'm sure that plays a whole role in selling a home. And then obviously we know the market is not the same what it has been tax-wise. That's always changing. But if if this house sold 1 or 2 years ago, and if they've made any improvements on there, that's just one more key factor that you can factor in. So you really have to do your research. So you're better off making sure you have all the information. It's going to help you look more put together and professional, and that's thus going to make you look more trustworthy. Then another big thing that I've noticed in listing presentations is your past sales. So you want to, as much as you want to make it about them, you also need to convey your expertise and your past experiences. So if you're a newer agent, again, that's where the market center stats are going to be more heavy for you in kind of your backing. But if you're a more established agent, you had some sales under your belt, putting those in there, specifically what the list price was, what the sale price was, and then also how many days on market. So those are good stats to have: list price, sale price, and days on market for your past sales. So I'm, again, putting all this in the chat. Again, that's just going to show them what you're working on, how you can get them what they need, and so on. So you got that. So then your marketing guide. Let them know how you're going to market it, where it's going to be marketed. You know, I can get you the information on where our website syndicates to, meaning our back end, like how you search for properties on our websites. It also blasts out to other ones. Obviously, our stuff shows up on Zillow, it shows up on Realtor.com, that kind of stuff. But I'll give you the full rundown. So you need to have their marketing guide, marketing strategy, what you're going to do, photos, all of that. Even if it seems blatantly obvious what you're going to do, make sure you include that. So if you're going to post a virtual tour, which this is just an example, if you're going to post a virtual tour onto the MLS, tell them, don't lose a listing because they do not know the full extent of what you're going to do. Something that seems common sense to you or may seem common sense to you, make sure you include that. That way they know exactly what they're getting, and they don't feel the urge to go somewhere else because they think they're getting more. So after that, the seller's guide. So you need to let them know the whole process, what's happening, what you're going to need from them, what they are going to need from you, and so forth. And that's where if you if you use the tools in Command, like the client updates and stuff like that, and be like, hey, you'll get emails from me weekly or daily on this. If you don't, or whatever your system is, make sure you include all that so they know how the communication is going to work out. You could even include a separate sheet of, like, make sure you get all their contact information, their preferred method of contact, the time frames in which you want to contact them. Obviously, it's something urgent, you're going to call them right away. But if they have a habitual meeting every day at this time, and that's a hard no for them, getting that communication through is going to be huge. So even having, and what I believe one of the pages in the listing presentation is templated that way already for you. So, and then another thing you would want to include is testimonials. They're going to trust somebody else's word over yours about you. So include those testimonials. And they don't have to know how far back they go. They don't have to know who, what, when, where, why. Just any testimonials that you have. I mean, you don't need like pages and pages and pages, but like 1 or 2 pages is good. And then last but not least, your contact info. Make it as big and bold and bright as you can. So I'm going to quickly show you, and I apologize, I don't have a digital version of this, so I'm going to have to just old school Vanna White it here. So this is Josh's, like the market, kind of his listing presentation. His is pretty simple. He doesn't have quite everything that I've listed. And like I said, you don't have to put all of that information in there. I just think it's important information. I've seen simple ones. I've seen thicker ones that have a lot of information. And something I didn't mention in here, which I will later, is to have your signing, your general documents, your listing agreement, your consumer guide, your anti-fraud, that stuff that they can sign right away, and give it to them. So after you've had that conversation, say, I would love to go ahead and get started, and hand them the forms. I don't know how many of you do that now, but when you put them on the spot, they're more likely to react. If you can, when you're have that phone conversation with them, or whatever kind of conversation you're having, if it's like a complete stranger, ask them, say, hey, how many agents are you interviewing to potentially list your house? Do you know? And if it's feasible, ask them to be the last. That way you get the last impression. And then if you hand them those forms, they're more pressured to respond right now. And then they're less likely to say, oh, we're going to meet with XYZ still. So it doesn't really give them an excuse to wait, unless, I mean, if they're persistent, obviously you want to honor their wishes, but take the forms with you. That way they're less likely to tell you no. Just go look over my notes here. So yeah, make sure you're doing your research. Get a couple different CMAs to compare, and just be yourself. Don't try to do the big show, and especially if you're a newer agent, don't try to act like you have all this experience, because the more authentic you are, the more to yourself you are, and really highlight your confident features. You know, if you know this area well, really focus on that. If you are really good at staging, or you have your staging license, it's really hone in on that too. Like, hone in on your skills, because the more natural you feel, the more authentic you are to yourself. People can pick up on that, especially if they're really good at like social cues and body language. So if you look comfortable and confident and you feel it, they're going to feel that, and that's going to portray as trust. Thus, they're more likely to list and agree to have you as their agent. So just make sure you're yourself, you're comfortable with what you have, and just be honest. I feel like people stress so hard on having everything together and making it look perfect. And that goes for everything. But if you're honest, like, you know, hey, I don't have this, but I will have it by this date, this time. I'll have it to you tonight by 9 p.m. That's more accepting of excuses, at least just the way I feel like a lot of people are in receptive. So just be yourself. In the long run, that may be more beneficial to you than not, if there's somebody you don't really want to work with as you're feeling out the appointment and stuff like that. And then have demos ready. So if you have a specific photographer you use, or that you have in mind for that property, or if there's certain apps or features or a landing page or anything like that that you use specifically for your listings, make sure you have a demo ready to show them. You can talk about it until you're blue in the face, but until you're like, here it is, this is what it is, you know, then, you know, we want instant gratification. We want to see it. We want to feel it. We want, you know, so have demos. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go and create a whole marketing book for their specific property, but have examples and find your best examples. If you have a huge luxury home that's just gorgeous on the inside, or one of your listings was just gorgeous on the inside and out, or, you know, a video turned out really well, use that one. It doesn't matter how old it is, as long as it's current to what you'll be giving them, meaning your photographer and the quality of work that you're giving them, then that's all that matters. This could be your house. Just plug in your house into this, and this is how great it'll look. So have those examples with you, whether it's on your iPad or your laptop or on your phone, something that they could see easily, but just have examples so they can have real life things. So just to go through this, so his says professional photography, and it's got photos, and these are actual listings that he had, and he kind of just took screenshots of things, flyers and stuff like that. Social media, so this is like a live, sorry, I'm like awkward, this is backwards. This is like a live still from one of his YouTube videos. Instagram, again, he literally took screenshots of the Instagram things, and he even told me that he would crop, like, if one of his posts had more likes but he liked these photos better, he would crop the two together. And if you need help with that, I will absolutely help you, just to make it look better. And who would know? It's who is actually going to go to your Instagram feed and try to find this? They won't. I promise you they won't. So if you want to make it look higher likes or posts or anything. So these are literally, he took screenshots of these to post. And then, so that was professional photography, print materials, targeted ads on social media. So just show off what you have. And then he has this process of selling your home. So this would kind of be like the seller guide. And it's super, it doesn't have to be super detailed. Like, you get into the details once you're hired. So keep it simple and don't overload them with information. But I mean, it's like, communicate with Josh your intent to sell. preview. Josh will visit your home and discuss your strategic plan, which you're kind of in that stage anyways, but that's after. CMA, listing contract is prepared and reviewed with you. Prep, get your house in showing condition. Marketing, photos, videos, social media, offers, having an agent who will help you navigate offers and advocate. The highest price is critical. And then sold, reach your ultimate goal and load up the moving truck. So it's cute, it's simple, they're bright colored pictures, it's easy to see, it's easy to read, it's easy to follow. And then where buyers look at for homes, and it says the internet. So this is showing you, this is kind of cool. I don't have this on here, but buyer behavior. So of all home buyers, 95% search online. I can say this is true. I can tell you from my personal experience in 2014 when we bought our house, I found my house before I even had a realtor. So the way things have changed over the years. So internet, social media, apps, that's where everybody's looking. So kind of show them where the buyers are too. So that'll help you as well. The demographic, this is 99% of millennials search online. That's kind of the age group of who is purchasing homes right now, or the highest, most popular, I should say. I can vouch for that. I am also a millennial and I found my house online. 72% of buyers use a website or mobile app, also true, if not higher by now. 36% use an online video site to view homes. So that's further kind of driving the nail up the marketing. So, and then online presence, this kind of shows you where it syndicates to, sorry, again, awkwardness. So I will send this to all of you so you have that information. Trulia, Zillow, Realtor, the big ones, Home Finder, and then like AOL, Fox Business, CNN, Curbs, Home Seekers, Redfin, all of that. And then on this last page here, he has his testimonials. So, and then, and he again took screenshots of these, so he didn't even have to type them up again. You can always copy and paste them too if you wanted to. So his is super simple. And again, his information on the back, his photo, clear as day. We'll forgive that it says Greater Columbus on it because he got smart. No, but yeah, so super simple. So you could do something as simple as this. It's like a nice material, shiny kind of. So it's not regular paper, but it's almost like photo paper, I would say. But I'm sure he had these printed somewhere. And then he also got sponsored for these. So WC Title is on the back. So I'm sure they paid for these. So you don't even have to pay for them. Find someone that'll sponsor you. Okay, let me go through my notes here. Have your demo, bring all your, okay. So yes, just to circle back on it, bring the documents for them to sign. Bring 2 copies, one for them to keep, one for you. So if you can give them those documents right away, here's your copy. So I'm gonna have you sign 2. This is your copy, this is my copy. And then you can just scan them into DocuSign or Dotloop, whatever you use. That way your docs are all together, but that way they have everything, and then let them keep their listing presentation. Let them keep it. That just seems like common sense to me, but I understand they're pricey and they can be fancy. Obviously, if it's digital, you probably can't let them keep it. But I don't know if I've really seen a digital listing presentation, to be honest. But if you have something like this, let them keep it. That way it's on their counter, it's on their fridge, it's a reminder if they hadn't decided yet. So that's what I have for you all today. Is there any questions, anything you want to comment on? Oh, let me go through Command. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. Got so excited about all the news information I had for you, I forgot about Command. So going into Command and designs, you have listing presentation templates in here. So they've kind of revamped designs, but create design. Print is what you're going to want to do. Hit continue. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to interrupt me. I'm perfectly fine with that. I apologize. I'm kind of squirrel today. Listings on the side. Listing presentation. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 template options, and then you also have 2 sizes. So you have 8.5 by 11, which is a normal standard sheet size. And you also have the booklet, the A4 booklet, which is smaller. I don't know why it's in millimeters, but I think it's like almost like a 5 by 7 book would be my guess. So you can filter by size. And then these are all your options template wise. I like this one. I'm always partial to that one. I don't know why, but it's up to you. You can change the verbiage. You can change the colors, your assets. You can set up all of your colors. We'll get to that in August. I have a class for that. So you just click use. And the tip I have for this is choose all your pages first, then go in and edit it. So over here on the left is your template. So if you want that page, click add new page. If you don't, you can edit the whole thing and it won't add to your listing presentation. So I'm going to hit add. So there it is. So I'm not going to worry about anything at all yet. So I'm going to add the instructions page. That's going to be like your about, overview page. And you can change the order of these too. So I'm just first adding all the pages that I want. So this would be about your client. If you wanted like a content page, you can. So this would be like the property page about that property specifically. This is the neighborhood page. And then also, so you can put neighborhood stats on this one. And you have comparable properties. So this would be like the CMA kind of stuff. This one, so if you want to look at it first before you add it, you can just click on it. Your needs come first. This could be a separate page because it asks questions on here. Like if we could add just one more thing to make this process even better, what would it be? I wouldn't put that physically in the book because if you're leaving it with them, you can't take those answers with you unless you take a picture of it. So that would be something like loose leaf in a folder I would leave, or something that you could tear out if you have somebody fancy enough that can make perforated pages, like the perforated line on the pages. So the process, this is the step-by-step process. So you don't have to, if you have a process, you can kind of integrate them. And I apologize, you can't really see that. So it kind of gives you the steps. If you can tweak these, you can change the colors, you can do whatever you want. If you want to promote your app in there, you can. Digital marketing. So your custom marketing plan, you can change these photos in here. If you go to workspace, there's home interior ones. So these are all royalty-free images. Sorry, I just chose the same one. App images. I mean, there's all kinds of lifestyle, random photos. So if you don't like that one, you want this one, you absolutely can put it in there. Or if you have your own photos, you can do that too. So I'm going to go back to the template now. Finding your buyer. This just kind of breaks down like where people are looking, where your marketing is going to be, so forth. Media plan. Say that one looks good. Strategic promotion, open house strategy. If you want to get it that in depth with it, you can. Real experience, real expertise. So that would be kind of you, or if a newer agent, you can put the market center stats on that. Again, add new page. The proof is in my numbers, that kind of stuff. This, I'm guess they're pulling like market stats. I don't know, it won't be privy to your information. So make sure you update this in our specific market, which again, you can get that from the MLS under market summary. All this info should be in there. Credentials and awards. So if you want to put like your accomplishments in there, you can. Leading the industry. These would be your previous homes that you've sold. If you wanted to, again, you can change the order of these. So once you have everything in there, I won't go through all of this. I kind of like this bottom line, this signature idea. If you can do it, cool. If not, I think it looks really cool. And then that last page is your information. So once you have all your pages, you're going to go down here to pages right down in the bottom right corner. And then here is where you can rearrange them. So you can make 3, if you want that one up here, and then you can click on each one to edit. And then once you like it, you download, change this to a PDF, either printing or standard, either or. All pages, 1, and then download. And it will download to your computer. Make sure you name it too. I forgot to name it. And then you can either print it yourself, or if you use a printing company or a marketing company to print it, you can send it there and they'll print it for you. But yeah, there's templates in here. Like I said, there's 5 templates in there. Go through and feel like what is authentic to you, what information you want to convey to them, and just really play with it. You can do multiple different ones, but so I'll have this one in here. So what I recommend new agents, and if you are just building a new listing presentation or even buyer presentation in here. So I'm going to go to my prints. So I'm going to make this, oh, I think I just opened it. Let me name it real quick. So for these, what I recommend is, so you build out what you want. I'm going to put listing presentation on here so it makes sense. Presentation. I'm just going to put standard because that's going to tell me that this is the basic one. So the information that doesn't really change, like your information, the testimonials, your marketing plan, stuff like that. So go ahead and build one. And then you can just click on these 3 dots and make a copy. So always have like your standard home one. That way you already know what you want and you can just make a copy. And this can be for this specific listing. Go ahead and put all your stuff, but you still have that original listing presentation in there to build from. So it's like your template, your own personal pre-made template. That way you don't have to spend the time of going through and finding all the pages again, going through and changing all the information again. You only have to change the information that's pertinent to that situation. So it'll just save you some time. I know that it doesn't autofill everything for you. Unfortunately, it would be a great world, but like the neighborhood stats you can get from there, that kind of stuff, you can pull from command, but just have a set standard one that you like to use that has a start of your information. So if you only have to edit 5 pages instead of 15 pages, that would be awesome. And that'll save you a ton of time. So start with your standard, create your standard listing and buyer, no matter what stage of real estate you're in, how seasoned you are or not. If you don't have a standard one set, do it now for both. And then when you come time to go on a listing presentation, you just make a copy of it, add the information you need to pertinent to that, listing or that buyer, and then you're ready to go. Just a time saver. All right, well, now that is officially everything I have for you guys today. Is there any questions on anything I can help with before we go? I will take silence as a no. If you think of anything, give me a call, send me an email, come find me. I'd be happy to help. Absolutely, Ruthie. Again, this will be recorded. I'll put it up on our YouTube channel, both Excel and Cat Partners if you're at either. So feel free to watch it later. And I will send everybody the syndications. So this online presence stuff, that I'll send that to you. And on that, if you do choose to do that, make sure you do your own website too. So, all right. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Bye. You're welcome. It's my pleasure.